You still have an opportunity to watch the RTE Investigates show. It's a two-parter on the pandemic inside Ireland's COVID battle. It aired on RTE1 on Monday and on Tuesday, and I watched both of them. Perhaps you did as well. I referred to it yesterday on the programme. It changed my mind or re-emphasised the importance of our health system in many ways to me. But I was gripped for both of the shows, but in particular for one particular part of it. And I'm not saying that any death is less important than another, but there was a man by the name of Patrick, who was 97 years old, and in St. James's Hospital he lost his battle with COVID-19. But it was his support worker that captured all of our hearts. And actually I was sitting on the sofa on my own. There was nobody there, and there were tears running down my face. It was just absolutely heartbreaking, because Lisa was his next of kin as well, because all of his family, she was the closest person to him, because they were all out of the country and nobody could come to see them. I think his might have had brothers or sisters, I think perhaps in Canada, but he lost his life. But Lisa would go in to visit him and would play play Irish tunes on her mobile phone to him. He was in a deep, deep coma and slipping away. And it was so, so heartbreaking. And she would sit with him, in spite of possible risks to her own life, and she would chat with him and talk to him. And then he passed away. And after poor old Patrick, at the age of 97, passed away, Lisa went into his room and she held his hand for the last time, and she played him an Irish lullaby on her phone, and it was just absolutely heartbreaking, and she sang along to him. This is a section of the programme just featuring that.
You're okay. I'm going to play the Irish lullaby, okay? Now, will you hold me hand?
Over in Killarney many years ago, me mother sang a song to me in tones so sweet and low.
Did you like that song with Lisa?
A little ditty in her good old Irish way, and I'd give the world if she could sing that song to me this day.
Oh my God, Lisa, I'm going to lose it again. Help me out here. I think I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it. Jeez. That was one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen.
Oh. Are you okay now?
Yeah, I am. I'll be grand. It was terrible. You really have captured our hearts, you know.
Thank you.
Just to see you lean over then and kiss him on the forehead.
I know. I wish I could have had no mask on and gloves.
Tell us about Patrick, because we learned so little about him, but such a long life, and you were so close to him. Where was he living? And you used to look after him, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was Patrick's support worker for 2.5 years. He lives in the Granby Centre. It's in the heart of the city centre. He came there over 20 years ago. He was one of our first residents here. He's an amazing man, absolutely amazing. He taught me, among other staff and residents there, a lot.
He taught you a lot?
He taught me a lot. He's a very wise man.
You got very close to him, did you?
I did. It's my job to be a support worker. I'm close to a lot of the residents in there. But because Patrick was the age he was and how wise he was, there was just something special there.
He had a long, long life. I wonder what he did with all of it. Did you ever manage to find out?
Yeah, well, before he came to the Granby Centre, he worked in the Mount Street Club, and his job there was to separate the cream from the milk.
And he had all those stories about... He was a West of Ireland man, wasn't he? Because you travelled for his funeral, of course, to Sligo, wasn't it?
Yeah. Unfortunately, last year, Patrick was talking about like death, and he knew his age. And last year, we put something in motion for him to like stay in the Granby Centre for palliative care. Like, we were going to do the palliative care in the Granby Centre, like, because that's what you would have wanted. But unfortunately, because of this, we couldn't do it. We have 100 residents there, so we couldn't put the whole rest of them at risk.
So when he contracted COVID at that age, he had to go into ICU, didn't he?
He went into the Mater first of all, and then from the Mater into isolation. From isolation then to James's.
You see, watching that show really showed us all that we shouldn't be just talking about percentages and numbers and flattening curves. You know, we saw Patrick's story and others like him, and your kindness and love to him was just profound. Are you aware of people's reaction to your relationship with him?
I am now. It's very overwhelming. Before I worked in the Granby Centre, I was a healthcare assistant. That was always the job I liked to do.
Yeah. Near the end of his life, then you visited. I was very
lucky to be his support worker.
Yeah. And did you go very often then, as the
Yeah, I went every day. I went every day till he passed. I used to have to come in and out and take my PPE off and take a breather, because I remember the weather was extremely warm at that stage.
In May, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very warm at that stage, so it was. My hats are off to all them nurses and doctors, how they wear that PPE for so long throughout the day.
But you would chat with them, and I know I played the part of, there with my Irish lullaby. He had passed away at that stage, and you held his hand and played his song. But when you played all of the other songs on your phone, do you think he heard them? Do you think that he could hear you chatting with them?
Yeah, up until about 2 days before he passed. He was giving me facial expressions and, nodding his head, and like I knew that he could hear me.
How'd you keep it together, though?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I wanted to keep it together for him, because I know that whether people are in a coma or whatever way they are, they can still hear you and they can still sense. So I didn't want him to see me getting upset.
I think you're incredible. I really do. I just think, I'm just in awe of what you did. And, you probably do this all of the time, dealing with people who are getting old and alone and minding them and being kind to them. And then you travelled west to the funeral. What was that like?
It was beautiful. It was lovely to see where Patrick was from and stuff like that. My colleagues came with me, Daniel Jordan and the coordinator, Tony. And it was just really nice. We stopped off then for lunch on the way back, and we sat on a bench and we were just talking about Patrick and that. It was really nice, absolutely really nice. The undertaker was nice as well, Tom.
Is he buried in a beautiful place?
Yeah, buried in a beautiful place in Curry, yeah.
Is that out in the countryside amongst the mountains and the fields?
Yeah, you can actually see the mountains, they look real clear to you when you're standing there.
And the dedication of the doctors, the nurses, the healthcare staff, the cleaners within St. James's, you got to see that firsthand, didn't you?
Oh, I did. It was amazing. I couldn't believe the support they gave me, along with my own job in the Granby Centre. The support I got was second to none. It was amazing.
It's still available if people haven't seen it. I would recommend that they should watch the two-parter, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the second part was really emotional too. The old lady with her husband, I was really emotional with that.
Yeah, that's right. I couldn't get it to keep it together for that either. You're right. It was.
Yeah.
It was gripping, to be quite honest. It was gripping, yeah. And your contribution to it should be a lesson to us all. And you will continue to do the work you do within the centre with the people who need your help and company as well, isn't it?
I will indeed. We have a range of different people in our centre. We have people with mental health issues, disabilities, the older person, all different range, addiction issues. It's a complex centre, but I love working there.
Yeah. I'd say you're taking quite an amount of media calls these days, though, are you?
Oh, I'm overwhelmed by the whole thing.
Listen, you deserve the highest praise in the land. Thank you so much for taking my call, Lisa Connolly. It's lovely catching up with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a lovely day.
You too.
Bye.
Just see you later. She's so lovely. If you haven't seen it, her contribution and the passing of 97-year-old Patrick on its own is something that everybody should see if you want to see what COVID-19 is really like, not being a number or a percentage of a statistic.